Hi guys, it's me Ruri. Today we're going to be talking about how to learn Japanese, and since I'm a native speaker in Japanese, I'm going to be sharing you guys my perspectives as a native speaker, and I'm going to be talking about the mistakes that most of the foreigners make. So before talking about tips, let's talk about why to learn Japanese. So firstly, I think this is the most common one. It's to enjoy animes without subtitles. When it comes to anime, and when I look to the English, Turkish, German subtitles, most of them cannot really represent the anime itself. It's kind of changes the meaning of the anime. And I think watching anime without subtitles is the best thing that you can ever do in your life. And also when it comes to the animes, characters have certain way to talk, and it really build up their character. How they talk, how they kind of say things really shows actually their personality. And when it comes to anime, it is really important. For example, in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is my all-time favorite anime, if you haven't watched that, just watch it. The way JoJo characters talk is really different from the day-to-day life and from the other animes as well. For example, in JoJo, every character says "ja-nai-ka." In Japanese, we normally say, for example, "これじゃないの?" "それじゃないの?" "あれじゃないの?" Kind of like that. But in JoJo, the characters are so different from the anime. They say, これじゃないか。あれじゃないか。それじゃないか. They use it on purposely. If you're a native speaker or if you are fluent in Japanese, you will understand JoJo 100%. If you are reading subtitles and if you are a foreigner who doesn't understand Japanese or Japanese culture, you will understand maybe 50% of it. And still, there are a lot of people enjoying JoJo and other animes with reading subtitles. If you're enjoying anime with subtitles, maybe let's say 5 point out of 10, you will enjoy without subtitles 10 out of 10. It's so different. It is so different to watch anime with subtitles versus actually understanding Japanese. So if you love anime, I would highly recommend to learn Japanese because it will change the whole experience. I'm being productive only to watch anime without the guilt. So the second one is to visit or travel to Japan. So if you're planning to visit or travel to Japan after this whole situation ends, I would recommend you to learn a little bit of Japanese here and there, like some emergency things. Japanese people will appreciate your effort to speak Japanese, and they will help you, I think, 10 times better when you talk in Japanese, because when you ask something in English, they will be probably scared and there will be probably maybe not to help, not because they're ignorant, because they're shy. They're pretty shy when it comes to English. So yeah, before visiting Japan, I would recommend you to learn Japanese a little bit because I'm sure that it will help you. And the third reason is for work or academical purpose. So if you're going to be learning for work or for academical purpose, you really have to make sure that you know keigo, which is a kind of way you show respect when you're talking in Japanese. It is very hard, and when you're learning Japanese for work or academical purpose, I think it will be really hard for you, but keep going, you have that. Okay, so when it comes to learning Japanese, it is really important to know hiragana, katakana, and kanjis. So where to start? I would highly recommend you to start from your pronunciation and learning hiragana and katakana at the same time, because they will show you how to pronounce things actually. Don't ever study Japanese in Romaji, which is like the Latin alphabets, because it will change your pronunciation. I think the pronunciation is the most important thing when it comes to learning a language. Don't rush to learn kanji first, because even for Japanese, it takes years and years to learn kanji, but pronunciation, katakana, and hiragana, these are the really important things when you want to improve your Japanese pronunciation. So when it comes to pronunciation, as everybody knows, watching animes, YouTube videos, listening to Japanese songs, watching maybe Ghibli movies are pretty good ways to learn Japanese and make your pronunciation better. Because in animes and in Ghibli movies, you can hear the voice actors talking pretty clearly. Their pronunciation is 10 out of 10, so you can really learn from them. But the problem with learning Japanese with the animes and the movies is that most of the words that they use is not the words that we use daily as Japanese people. For example, not a lot of people say sessha or nantoka blah blah dono or something. They are like the words that used to use Japanese in the past. So actually it depends really on what type of anime you watch, but most of the time the words and the way that talk in anime is for making the things fun. So most of the Japanese, of course, don't talk in that way. For vocabularies and for pronunciation, watching movies and animes is very, very important in my opinion. But in order to learn Japanese in a proper way, it is really important to interacting with the native speakers. But how to interact with Japanese native speakers, right? It is really hard these days to travel to Japan because of the whole situation, and also it is really expensive to travel to Japan because Japan is a pretty expensive country in my opinion, especially if you're coming from a country like Turkey. So what you can do instead, you can find native speakers online, because the thing that I like about my generation is that internet is everywhere and everybody can use internet. So how to interact with native speakers? The best way to do it and the most affordable way to do it is that using a language app. So today's sponsor is HelloTalk. I'm thanking for them to sponsoring my video. And what is a HelloTalk? So HelloTalk is a free app where they have more than 150 languages. You can find Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Turkish, German, English, Arabic, I don't know, whatever language you want to learn, you can find that in HelloTalk. And what you can do with HelloTalk, you can interact with the native speakers, you can chat with them, you can have phone calls, and you can send voice messages. And in the chat system, there is a AI which checks your pronunciation and also your grammar. So when you're talking with a native speaker, AI will automatically show the right way to say the sentence, and we can have a chat, we can have a conversation, and then we can have phone calls, etc. And also in HelloTalk, they have a timeline where you can post things and people will comment on you. For example, if you want to check your pronunciation, you can just say the word, use a voice record option in HelloTalk, and you can post it in your timeline and maybe ask for them, is my pronunciation right? And somebody will comment and somebody will help you. And also you can get private lessons from native speaker teachers. I'm thanking for HelloTalk for sponsoring this video. Go and check it out. It's a free app. I think it's awesome. I think it's amazing. I realized that I haven't talked Japanese in this video, so let me talk a little bit in Japanese in this video so that I can prove that I'm a native speaker. なんか最近 YouTube のアナリティクスを見たら、今ね、7% とか動画によって変わるんだけど、日本についての動画とか、日本の Vlog とかになると 10% まで上がるんだけど、日本の視聴者さんが増えてて、あとコメントを日本語でもらったりすると、やっぱ英語で撮ると世界中の人が見えてくれるから、それがすごい嬉しいなって思って、チャンネルを英語でやるメリットなのかなって思いました。なんか日本の視聴者さんありがとうございます。これからもよろしくお願いします。Like that. So how to learn hiragana and katakana? I think you can learn them in just one day. It doesn't take that much time. The only thing that you have to do is really to practice write. They're not that hard. And what is the difference between hiragana and katakana? So hiragana is like the basic thing, basic alphabet that you use. We don't only use hiragana, we combine them with kanjis and with the katakanas. Hiraganas and katakanas are actually the same thing. Katakana is an alphabet that is used for foreign words. For example, coffee in Japanese means kohi. So let me write both of them in hiragana and also in katakana. So as you can see, I've written it with hiragana and also with the katakana. So the upper one is hiragana and the lower one is katakana. Don't rush with the kanji. We will get there, but don't rush with learning kanjis. Learn hiraganas and katakanas and make your pronunciation better. So let's talk about kanjis. So I got a lot of questions saying that, do I really need to learn kanji? My answer is that it really depends on your purpose of learning Japanese. If you want to learn it for fun, if you want to learn it for understanding animes or movies, you don't necessarily need to learn kanji. But if you want to read something in Japanese, or if you want to use that Japanese in Japan, then you really have to learn kanjis. But you don't have to rush first, because firstly, improve your pronunciation and hiragana and katakana and communicate with native speakers and make Japanese a habit in your daily life. Daily practice is really important. First do that. After that, worry about learning kanjis. So if you want to do it in a fun purpose, I don't think that you need to learn kanji. However, if you want to read something, or if you want to use Japanese for academical or work purpose, then you really have to learn kanjis. But the thing about the kanjis is that even for Japanese, it takes years and years to learn kanjis. So I searched it real quick, and in order to read newspaper, you have to know 1,800 kanjis. So it doesn't mean that you will be able to read every single news that you'll see, but you'll understand most of the newspaper. So you need 1,100 kanjis to learn that. When it comes to kanjis, it is really important to do practices. And there are a lot of kanjis that has the same pronunciation but the different meaning. How to understand that is that using kanjis in daily life, which you can do with the Hello Talk. When you're chatting with a native speaker, you will automatically pick kanjis, and it will improve your ability to select the right kanji. But when it comes to kanji, it is important to write and use them daily. Like even me, I'm not really good at kanjis. I can read kanjis, but I cannot really write kanjis because I don't use them daily. In my daily life, I don't use kanji. I just type, so I don't really write kanjis. I'm not really good about writing kanjis, but you know, when I'm typing, of course I can choose the right kanji. So I just cannot remember the kanji itself. But do I have any difficulties in Japan when I'm in Japan? Absolutely not. It won't really help you. Your phone will help you when you are trying to write something in Japanese, because I type in Japanese, I look up the kanji and I write the same thing. When it comes to kanji, if you're doing for work academical purpose, I would highly recommend you to learn kanjis, practice them, use them daily. There is no shortcuts to learn kanji, but as I said, if you're learning it for understanding animes or movies, you don't really need to learn them. I can make a whole video about learning kanjis better and how to read in Japanese and how to watch animes effectively, or how to watch movies and listen to songs effectively. I can do a video about that if you guys want. Let me know in the comments down below, but these are the basic things you have to really know. So let's summarize this video. First point, screw Romaji, so Latin alphabet, and learn hiraganas and katakanas instead of them. Secondly, focus on your pronunciation, and while you're focusing on your pronunciation, learn hiraganas and katakanas at the same time. Never use Romaji, learn like a Japanese. And the third one, when you are practicing your pronunciation and your vocabulary, don't forget to watch animes, movies, and listening to songs, and also like J-dramas. I think they're pretty good. They're like pretty sweet, so watching J-dramas is also a good way. And fourth one is interacting with the native speakers. You can use Hello Talk to do that, chat with them, make phone calls, post something on timeline, and use a translator, focus your grammar, focus your kanjis and all that stuff. And the fifth step is learning kanjis. It's important to do some practices, write them, use them daily, and type in Japanese, read in Japanese, write in Japanese. Just make Japanese as a part of your life. And that's the summary of the video. As I said, if you want a video about how to read in Japanese or how to watch animes effectively, I can make another video. Let me know in the comments down below. I'll probably make a video about that. I hope you find this video helpful, and let me see you in my next video. Bye for now. Bye bye.